Here we are again. It has been, it's 5:35. It's been about an hour and a half. This is what we got going on after walking around with this. We're gonna cut everything away. We're even gonna cut this rubber band. That's fine. Even though these probably would have slid right off. They're pretty. All right, I cannot feel most of that. I don't know yet. Let's see how it feels when I actually start, but. Okay. Oh no, I cannot feel that at all. Whoa, that is crazy. I feel like my fingers are a little different. I can feel more on the fingers. Okay, we're just cleaning off the extra-ness. I'm still gonna sanitize. In fact, let's do a little bit of let me get this open. Let's do a little hand sanitizer. Just because we're about to mess with these stencils. Oh, see, here's some extra residue. Okay. So you can see a little bit better how my heart is broken up, and that was what I had done prior that did not stick. And then we're gonna probably put something right here. When I was looking at these earlier, I wanna say I'm gonna do like a honeycomb. I don't know, I'm not gonna say anything yet. Let's just look through these. We're gonna do some hand sanitizer. Okay, we don't need any of these. These are the actual papers. Now this is a possibility. I'm going to set that aside. These I also thought about, but I'm going to save those for when I do just like different connective work. I just have a bunch of random, this is an actual like piece I would do at some point. Where did the... Oh, where'd he go? I had a... Is he in this? Did he get stuck in here? Oh, here he is, way over here. All right, so I was thinking about this guy. I like this guy a lot. He would be quite a bit of detail. Okay, so we have this as an option. Do we stick this sucker right here? Okay, I don't know. I feel like maybe he should be this direction though, do we think? I have a fan on, which is not a good idea. It's just blowing this away. So this is a possibility. I don't know though, because he would be cool elsewhere too. It's not like I wouldn't do him. And then oh, this was my thought here, was to do some like a honeycomb cluster. Let me get this off the actual like trash piece. Okay, so we have this as an option to like, do we just stick a cluster of these here? to connect like all of the work elsewhere on me? Or do we do just a small little guy on my finger? Like this looks, I feel like it's not good for my finger. Like it would look cool, but it doesn't, it's not. Like we could do a bigger scorpion, but then you just got like big and little right there. That's, doesn't make sense. We could do a little bee right there and then the honeycomb to tie in bees and honeycomb that are all over me already. Do we do that? I don't like that bee, it's too wide. I don't remember where I printed these out from, but they've been so useful in just like filling in. Or do we like this guy? I don't know. This one scares me a little, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like he's out of my comfort zone, and am I brave enough to go out of that today? I don't know. But he's pretty cool, isn't he? Don't know. What do we think? Let's just take a little bit of this and cut it into like a weird pattern for that area. Oopsie. And see what we think. Trying to just eyeball what that area really is right there. Maybe this way, that way, there. Okay. Now, would that make sense? And we would kind of do the same thing that I did on my stomach and my leg. We would just kind of drop it in behind, you know, like obviously it wouldn't go over this guy. And I'm gonna try to lay this out. I'm gonna try to lay this out first. I want to do this guy, but that also with my hand, and okay, so I have one hand at that point. So this guy's so detailed that if I put him on my hand and I need to like stretch the skin, that's not undoable. I'm sure I could seriously figure that out, but this guy deserves like a better attempt, and I like him. So I need to put him somewhere where I'm able to just not mess him up. So I guess that just solidifies. Like, let's just drop some of this in. I'll use what can be used here. I'll touch up my little heart. And then maybe I'll put a bee there. Let's see how I get through this. And then we'll maybe we'll drop a bee right there. But first thing we need to do is actually put on the honeycomb. And I just sprayed some alcohol on my hands. Clean this area. All right. I'm gonna put a glove on. Oh, I just snapped. I don't know what it is with me and the gloves today, but that'll do just to put on the stencil goo. Okay. We're gonna put this on. This is the stencil goo. What is this? Yeah, the stencil stuff. It's pretty universal. I think this is like one of the, you know, well-known brands that people use. All right, we're gonna put that on. I'm gonna do my little like dab so it's not so much. And then we're just gonna throw this on here. Oops, sorry. I have the camera set up right next to me, so I may bump it. Just bear with that. All right, let's move this. All right, we're gonna go up here. And then we're gonna put this in place. Did get the knuckles, which was a wonderful idea. Hopefully I just numbed enough. This was like a bigger area than I thought I'd be doing, I guess, but it doesn't matter. I had tattooed myself well before I started numbing myself, so I'll be just fine. But that's why I kind of want to like lay this out, get through it, and then do my, what I originally I just wanted to do this part, but obviously I'm not going to break out my tattoo stuff and only do a tiny small touch up on myself. That's not enough for my life. All right, so let's see. What we think about this. Okay. So I'm gonna look at it. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know if I'll include these two down here. I think that's, I don't know. Okay, let's just go for it. I'm gonna change my glove out because I had torn the bottom there trying to get it on one-handed. I'm gonna put a fresh glove on. And then for right now, let's move the trash. I'm gonna clean up this little area, and then in the next segment, I will begin tattooing this. Okay, cleaned up my area. My stencil's pretty dry on there, and I'm just gonna go for it. So I'm gonna start with my heart. I'm gonna try this method that, like I mentioned, someone had suggested to me, which, by the way, thank you, and I appreciate that. I'm just gonna lay like Vaseline down. Also, I need to grab, there we go. Alrighty. Now, this feels so foreign to me. I'm not joking because I haven't done my fingers in so long. All right, let's try this out. FYI, I can definitely feel that. So the numbing cream on your fingers. I don't know. Yikes. So right now this actually feels like, if you want a description, now right here is numb. Right there was numb. I could not feel that. This, no. Okay, but what I was gonna say, oh, this is numb right here too. So looks like if you watch the amazing numbing tutorial, then you'll know why that part's probably not numb. And that makes sense. But I'm just gonna kind of drill this in because I don't want to do this again. I never had anything on my ring finger. I always thought I would keep it not tattooed just because the ring was like the significance behind it. But then my husband drew me this tiny little heart. And I was like, that is what goes on my ring finger. I can't feel this side. Oh, I can feel that. Never mind. Did I even say, I'm sorry. I got so like, this feels awful. But what I was saying is it feels like, I don't even know if I said it out loud, it feels like I'm tattooing my bone. Like, that's what it feels like. I'm just cutting into my bone. I'm gonna definitely feel this, but let's just knock this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And you're like, oh, wow, that's a tiny dot. That shouldn't matter. Your nail bed is right there. And it is, no. Okay. All right, let's try to see right here. I'm sorry, the lighting is like changing outside, which is changing the lighting in here. Let me click on this other ring light right next to me. Oh, there we go. Okay, maybe that let a little bit more light in. But see right here, I didn't put any ink in the skin right there. So we're gonna go back over there. I'll tell you what, the Vaseline feels awesome. And I do feel like it glided across there. This would be cool to like check this out again, maybe on video with you guys to see like, did I do it this time? I don't know. I can feel that. I mean, I feel like it is getting packed in there. I don't know what else that would be doing. All right, so we're gonna leave that alone. Unless I wipe this and it doesn't look very solid. It's burning like it's pretty solid. Don't know that. Because I'm telling you, like, this is what it looked like last time. And so I was like, oh, I nailed that. No, I did not. Or, I don't know, maybe it was because it was my finger. And you just wash it out of, not wash it out of your skin, but like you can cause a lot more damage you know, your hands are always wet. You're always doing something with your hands. So I feel like it's just different for them to heal in general. Okay, well that was awful. But let's go on and see if this is numb, because if this part is not as numb as I want it to be, this video might not... Oh, there's a little fruit fly in here. This video might not be as much as I thought it was going to be, because I don't know if I can do that. All right, let's try this out. We'll at least start here so that if we do have to stop, there's at least a few honeycomb. I feel like I need more light. Is this one plugged in down there? Okay, let me come right back. Okay, back. And with much better lighting. I had a whole light over here next to me that was not even on. Not helpful. All right, let's just start. I said we were going to start like right in here. We're putting down our ointment this time. And oh yeah, that's perfect. I can't feel it. Thank goodness. Like I said, that's kind of like a blessing and a curse. I can't feel the pain, but I also, okay, and they said wipe away. So we're gonna try to get used to that method. It's like a blessing and a curse because I can't feel the pain, but I also, it's just like a catch-22. I don't know if I can, if I'm putting it in the skin enough. I have a feeling this one's going to be a touch-up. Or not, or just be non-existent, let's be real. I don't know if you guys can notice. Maybe you can notice on the camera. So like I just went over that spot, right? And even though I can't feel it, my body can. Like my hand starts shaking because, I mean, this is, your body's like, no thanks. Okay, so, I don't know. I don't know, this could be a total fail. And the stencil is laid like pretty decent, so it's so thick I can't. Alright, well this is the whole idea behind it. It's just trying to learn. Sorry, I'm kind of doing like last time where I just start getting so quiet. Let's turn this up a little. No, you can't. Cool. I don't know, guys, this might be a hot mess. You could feel the knuckle. Okay. Hey, remember when I was like, let's do this bug with all that detail and shading? No. I'm gonna turn this up just a pinch. Maybe like right there. All right, I'm trying to get ahead of myself, so I want to like jump over here, but if I can't make it there pain-wise, I need to finish these little guys. Let's get this guy done because I'm going to feel him. Yep. Okay. I know this seems like a psychotic, but the point of this is first off, I obviously have said a million times over that I love the art of this, but think about it. I do this one time, well, not really one time. Okay, this isn't a good story, but in most cases, I would get tattooed this one time, and it's there forever. It's with me forever, and that is what I just love so much about the art of this. You do go through, like, the process of this, but it's so, I don't know. I just don't think of it as a negative thing. I think of it as, like, an accomplishment. I know that might sound crazier than actually tattooing yourself, but I just feel like the art of it is so incredible. And there's got to be something about it. I mean, this has been going on forever, being tattooed. Ooh. Right here. It's also a weird experience for me because, like, when I do look at my tattoos and I see them, like, I will look at my hand now forever and be like, I did a whole YouTube video about that. I spent the evening, like, doing my own thing, being creative and doing what I love. And that is what the tattooing is for me. I just feel like every time I look at a tattoo, it was a trip that I took or an experience that I had, or there's a reason I got the tattoo. Not all my tattoos, believe me, have reason. Don't get me wrong. I have just things I like. There's no deeper meaning than that. But I did start tattooing, and they had, you know, when I started getting tattooed, I should say, you know, I started with the whole, they all had a meaning. And that's wonderful, but also they don't have to have a meaning either. Could just like something. Okay. I might not make it to any further than this, but let's wipe this away. I wiped exactly into the stencil as I was advised not to, so that's fine. But in all honesty, I really think I'm done. Let me try to... you know what I didn't do was make myself some cleaning water. This stencil is solid. Let me go make some cleaning solution because I didn't make it. I want to clean this up a little bit better, so I'll be right back. I'll be right back again. Okay, we're going to actually wash this down with some cleaner. Now, I can feel this in my skin, and it is, I'm holding my hand like this because I can see it whelping up, but do you see, I'll obviously have to show you like a tomorrow picture or a couple days from now picture, because it just looks like it's still the stencil, but I think it's the sliding. I don't know if you can see in when I turn my hand, but my hand is definitely whelped. You know, obviously that's part of getting the tattoo. You're puncturing the skin there. But let me, I don't want to stop though. I think I do want to keep going and just like bear with it because I like it. I like the layout a lot. Might look like a hot mess on cam, but I just went to mix that water and it like just extends everything. So let me just keep going. I just realized my mic was sitting next to me. It should have still picked up the audio, but let's just knock this out. I'm not gonna do these, that's wild, but I gotta get these out. I don't know, this is another thing I do, like if I would stop, I feel like I didn't finish the work, like I didn't finish the piece, which I didn't. Ooh, but it's... I almost like to feel this one, like the pain of it, because at least I know I am tattooing. Like that is going in. I can feel that. This guy's wild. Do we see this? This is what I do. So when I tattoo myself, I start getting like wild, and what is that? But that's okay, it can be fixed. I don't know how to fix it. Okay, yeah. Okay. So this guy's just a little thicker. That's okay. Who's gonna ever be, this is another thing, like, I understand people are so, like, it has to be perfect. I am not that person. But what I'm saying about this is in all reality, you are the one living with the tattoo. So if you think anybody is ever going to come up to your tattoo and look at it so closely that they're able to see every tiny little mistake that was made, I mean, unless this is like that show where they do that, but no one has ever come up to me and been like, whoa, those lines are wild. I mean, you just don't look at somebody that closely. And can I live with the fact that some of the lines are crooked or just wobbly? Sure, because that's just part of the process. Do I hope someday they're not? Yeah. I mean, especially if I'm going to tattoo others. Not everybody will have the same outlook. Yoicks. Does anybody else go to a totally, even when you're being tattooed, do you put yourself in another like realm, or is that just me? Like right now I'm trying to, I think that's called disassociating in all reality, but that's how I do it. I just don't, that seems like mental, but I don't try to feel it. Does anybody else do that? Is that just me? You try to just disassociate with it even going on, and especially if you're tattooing yourself. But it's crazy because my hand says otherwise, the one that's tattooing. That one's hot, like, yikes. Okay. Almost got this one done. I feel like I'm slowly having a mental breakdown on here. But that's okay. Let's just get this done. I think this guy probably needs touched up. Okay. Let me do the ointment. I feel like that is what's happening here. Like I'm not dragging anything out. Okay, let's put some of that down. Get some more ink. Let's try that. By the way, all of you that have left comments on past videos or even on this one, everyone has been so kind and so helpful and just like, I don't know, it's just been a really nice experience so far. And I feel like this community in just tattooing in general is or can be like a helpful place, because if you do tattoo or you are like well into the process of it, you've also been there where you either had no idea or you were just, you know, starting out. So it's nice to just share that advice with someone else. This is the most awkward angle. Let's try. I'm also not as scared of the negative comments though either, because, and well, I mean, things can be said properly without being rude, which is one thing, but also I'm not scared of the like criticism, because if you know, I'm not told that I'm doing it wrong, then I would never know I was doing it wrong. And so that doesn't scare me either. Like, if you're like, hey, why? Oh, hang on. If you were like, hey, that was super unsanitary, like, why would you think about doing that? I maybe didn't even know I did it. So pointing that out, just like I said on the last video, where I was told, you know, wipe away from the stencil and the, you know, ointment every time, I didn't even realize that I was wiping into the stencil. And then I thought about it and I was like, I most certainly am doing that. So a lot of these things I don't even know I'm doing. These ones on the knuckle are going to be wild. I don't know. They might not even be in there because when I think about how this feels now, I don't know how I ever tattooed both my legs with no numbing cream. I just don't know how I did it. Because this, I'm like, you get hot. Like, I'm getting hot and sweating. And that's okay though, because we only have one more honeycomb. Okay. I didn't show my husband what I was doing here either. I just kind of mentioned what I thought I would come up with. So he's in for a real treat. I'm going to come out with my hand filled in. We got this guy. I'm just looking through. Do I do these? I don't know. Let's do this guy. See, I start getting distracted and like, I think what I'm really trying to do is avoid it, and let's just do it. Let's just finish. I'm just wasting time staring at it. Okay. That's a no. No. Okay. Okay. The ointment is cool. I do feel like I'm just gliding instead of, I don't know what the other word is, like kind of struggling. Sometimes I feel like I'm struggling to get the ink like drawn out. Ooh. Okay, another little line here, which I can't get to. Let's try the, I don't want to go out of frame. Let's try here. Okay. Okay. I'm just looking at this, really hoping I don't have to ever go back and do it again. But I don't know. All I know is I am so glad I did not do the bug. I was about to do a whole, no. No, no, no. Okay, Now, do I go? I'm just gonna do it. Okay. Okay. The skin, I mean, clearly you guys would know this, just you have it, you know, based off your own hand. But this skin here is so different tattooing than your other skin. And that's what I run into too, which I've mentioned before, is that it is so surreal that you can tell you're on just a different type of skin. This is gonna heal horribly and nothing's gonna be in this, or I'm just gonna look at it and be like, I just did that. We don't know, we don't know. Whoops. That was crooked. Okay, let's put some ointment down. I'm still getting used to that. I feel like that's all I've been talking about because I'm trying to like stick it in my brain as a new thing. So sorry you've heard the word ointment about probably 90 times. All right, we're just gonna do this guy. This is a terrible idea, hold on. Okay. Okay. My hand is starting to act wild now. Let's try it like this. So I can stabilize myself a little. How do people get their palms? Explain to me, how can you sit through that? Because I don't know. Well, I guess people feel that way about the neck though. Which, I don't know. I don't know. Like the last half of my neck was wild. Maybe I should just stop here because I don't know how to. This is like a weird. Maybe you're just not supposed to tattoo there. Okay. That is wild. Whew. All right, let's wash this because I have no idea what is. Let me do this over the, I'm gonna do it down here below. You guys can't see this, but I have like a trash can down here. And I'm gonna make sure the fluid hits that this time. Okay. Now we're gonna just have to go back through and do whatever might need touched up right now and just be over it. Ooh, that is so wild. If this sticks in my hand and I just laid that, I am going to be so excited. It feels like it's in my hand. I'm sitting here talking like I can't tell if I just got tattooed. I can clearly tell if I got tattooed. I just like have this trust issue now with myself because I have tattooed myself and then like it's come out. But also I don't feel like I had done as much work up until that point as I have now. So, you know, at some point I'm going to have to get past that and maybe assume that I actually am tattooing at this point. All right, now let's look. I'm going to pull my lamp over here a little closer, so the lighting's going to change a bunch. And we're going to look and see if I need to touch up anywhere. This isn't in there, if you can see that. Probably not right there either. Let me rinse this. I feel like it's getting pretty built up. Okay. All right. I'm gonna put that there, and where did I say? Right here. These two are looking wild. Well, I mean, why would they not? This is on my... This one at least needs touched up. Probably right here too. Okay. Now. A real question that I'm looking at now too is like, when the stencil washes away, did I miss a line? Because that would not be good, but I mean, it could be touched up. I just never want to do this again, to be honest. All right, I better stop before. Every time I say I need to stop, I just, for some reason, keep going, but I'll try right here. Alrighty, I think that's it. I'm gonna stop grinding away at it. If there's something that needs touched up, perhaps the whole thing, we'll see. But let me clean it one last time. And then after I like wash it a few times and you know, that stencil is cleaned out of there, I'll take a picture and I'll put it up with this video. Because I am curious, what does it look like without the stencil under there? You know what, too, and maybe somebody could tell me this, is like when I go and get tattooed, my stencil wipes off pretty clean. You know, you can see some of the residue from left behind. But does anybody have anything that they use specifically? So this is that green soap mixed up. Does somebody, and then, you know, obviously Vaseline will take off the stencil, but is there something that you use after to get the stencil off there, or does it just wash away every time? Because I don't ever really remember leaving a tattoo studio and the stencil being so like prominent still. So maybe I am forgetting like a step there or something. Because even like with my husband's one last time, I feel like his stencil was on there. I mean, when it washed away, the tattoo was there. So I don't know if that's even relevant. But I'm just putting, every time I do a tattoo, I use and only have ever used just straight coconut oil on my tattoos. Ever. After, during, always. This was my gloved hand, and yeah, it is still clean. I haven't done anything but tattoo. And obviously I overuse the, coconut oil the first couple days. And then, see right here, I don't know. Like I said, I'll insert a photo of it. The best part of the tattooing, and if you've been tattooed, you know this, the green soap, and then putting on the ointment after, because your skin is just so angry. Okay, so I let that sit for a sec. And then, and one thing you never want to do, so like with this coconut oil right here, so I've used this, right? But I use, every time I dip into it, I use a popsicle stick, something sterile, because, and I'm sure most people know this, but if you just put your hands, like, obviously wash your hands if you're going to coat your tattoo in any type of ointment while it's healing, but if you just put your hands into the coconut oil and then keep putting your hands into the coconut oil, you're still passing on bacteria which can get into your tattoo. And so just always make sure you use, even if it's your own personal coconut oil, always make sure that you use, something to distribute it and not your hand. At least that's the best advice I have for that. Okay, there it is. Let me maybe move this trash out of frame. How about that? There it is. I'll put an after picture in. I highly suggest maybe not doing this. But it turned out pretty good. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching anything. I appreciate it. I'll see you on the next episode.